friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Friends, I hope you had a wonderful weekend and I wish you a very happy Monday every one of you. So friends, today I am going to talk about a demo part of AWS Auto Scaling Group. In the last session we had seen it was a theoretical lecture and we will be performing a demo today. Okay, so let's get started. So as you can see, I have logged into AWS Management Console, and where you will find Auto Scaling Group is you need to go to EC2, that is Elastic Cloud Compute, and here in the left side you can see a list. So it's just below load balancing. You can see under auto scaling, and there are two sub options: launch configurations and auto scaling groups. So as we seen last session, so there are two ways: launch configuration and launch template. So configuration has fewer options and template will be having more or richer options. So basically this launch configuration and launch template is nothing but a, you can see a run book, or or guidelines, or it will be, it holds the policy and it contains the AMI IDs, what will be the AMI ID, the instance type, any user script that we are going to execute as part of this auto scaling group, everything that will be consisted in the launch configuration. So first of all, we will create a launch configuration, and then we will perform or copy to the launch template. Okay, so let's get started. Let me click on launch configuration. Here you can see a button, create launch configuration. I'll click on that. Let's give a name. I'll give as my LC, that is launch configuration. Then next option is AMI, which stands for Amazon Machine Image. If you scroll down the button, this one, you will see a lot of AMIs. So this is basically you can say framework of which type of AMI we want to be launched. So I have already noted an AMI, so just feel free to choose any of the AMI, that doesn't matter. I'll just use this one, and this will be a Red Hat machine. So we will be launching the Red Hat machine as part of this auto scaling. Instance type, you can click on choose instance type, and it will give you several options here. So for this demo part I will go for pp.micro, so that we will be in the free tier limit. So just click on, yeah. Then additional configuration, this is optional section, this one. Here you can see several sub options. First one is purchasing options. If we click on request spot instance, then we will this will be like, if you are aware, the spot instance, it works like a share market. So it's like whenever this the price we are bidding for the instance, whenever that is going to fulfill, then only we will get instance, and if the price goes up, then instance will be terminated by AWS. So I'm not going to do this for now. IAM instance profile, we can just scroll down and it will list some of these IAM roles for you, and if you don't want, just leave it as it is. I will select, say for example, EC2 to S3 IAM. Monitoring has option like enabled EC2 instance detailed monitoring within CloudWatch. So with the detailed monitoring, there will be additional charges, because with detailed monitoring the instance will be monitored every 1 minute. However, the default monitoring is for with the 5 minutes. Okay, please note this. So I'm not going to do this as well. And EBS optimized instance, if we want, we can click on this launch of EBS optimized. So instance will be launched with the EBS optimization. So I'll just click leave this as it is. Then I'll click on advanced details. You can see several other things: kernel ID, RAM disk ID, metadata accessible, metadata version, etc. So I won't be doing this. And under user data, so this is basically a bootstrap script that we can place. So it will be executed when the instance is getting booted. Okay, so I have this simple bootstrap script. What it will do is it will install, first of all it will update perform these updates on this machine, like patches and all those things. Then it will install HTTPD service. So basically this will make the service as a web server. Then it will start this HTTPD service and chk config httpd on. This will ensure this whenever the instance get restarted, this httpd service is on. So that will be function of this one. Then this is the default path of http var www.html, and here we are going to execute this message. This is EC2 instance from Auto Scaling Group. So whenever we can, in the browser we will use the public IP address, then we can see this message. So this is very simple script. I will just copy this and I will place here as a text. Then if you scroll down, you can see IP address detail. I will leave default, which says only assign a public IP address to instances launched in a subnet with auto assign public IP enabled. Okay, so it means public IP will be auto assigned. This is the default setting only as it is. Storage, yeah, this is 10 GB of this storage will be assigned from general purpose SSD. We can choose the other categories, but I'll leave as it is. We can also add another volumes, additional volumes. Okay, create new security groups. So under security groups, it has create new security group, or we can select existing security group as well. Either of these will work. So I'll go with this create new security group. It has automatically picked up this name. We can change the name if we want, but I will just leave as it is. And the description. Here you can see there are some of the rules. So SSH rule has been added already. Since we will be accessing it over browser, so I will add HTTP protocol here, HTTP service. List you can scroll down and you can see this is HTTP. The port it has autofill, it is ready, and we need to fill this source. So 0.0.0.0/0 is something it's the significance is internet. So anyone it's free from internet. So that is the source this signifies. You can ignore this error message. Here key pairs, so we can either choose the existing key pair, or we can choose existing key pair, or we can either create new key pair or proceed without a key pair. So if we go with proceed without a key pair, you can see a message here. Acknowledge that I will not be able to connect to this instance unless I already know the password built into this AML. Okay, so since we are not going to log into this machine, so I will just click on this one and click on create launch configuration. So you can see this launch configuration has been completed. This one you can see, and you can see another option here, copy to launch template. So basically launch configuration is something that it has lesser features as we are seeing. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy this to the launch template. So I'll just select on this one and click on copy to launch template and copy selected. Here it will ask us to give a name. I'll give a name as my launch template. So this will be our launch template name. Okay, and I'll click on copy. So what it will do is it will create a template now from our launch configuration, and you can see it here. This is our launch configuration, and where you will see the template is, if you see here under instances, you can see launch templates. So you can see this is our my launch template. This has been copied from. So it has exactly the same details of the launch configuration, but with additional features. Okay, so this is the half part that we have done. So the next thing is, see, actually doing this launch configuration is not going to install or launch anything. Okay, it's just a template, or we have to define a set of rules. Actually the instances will be launched when we will configure this auto scaling group. Okay, so I'll click on auto scaling groups, and here you can see it has mentioned how it works and other things. So I'll click on create auto scaling group. The first step is to give a name. I will just simply give it as my ASG step is asking for the launch template. So if you scroll down here, it has detected our my launch template that we just created, and just leave the version we can just ignore here. AMI IDs and everything will be the same as we have done as part of launch configuration. So I'll just click on create to next thing. And this is very important step here for the networking purpose. If we have this will choose the default VPC for us. If we have another VPC, then we can select here by drop-down list. And if you want to create or this ASG's Auto Scaling Group to be launched in another VPC, then we can just simply create VPC, and it will bring to this VPC console here. So you can watch my VPC video how we can create a custom or a new VPC. Okay, so I won't be doing that for now. The next tip is availability zones and subnets. Here, if we scroll down, it is giving this option. So we can select all those 3 availability zones, and I'll give you if we, for example, launch 3 instances. So this is auto scaling is smart enough. It will launch one EC2 instance in each availability. It's not going to do like launch all the 3 instances in one availability. It's not going to do that. It will launch it in each of this availability zone. Okay, so that you can do here. And I will just here launch instance type requirement. You can see here the requirement details auto field. I just click on this next button here. Now this is configure advanced option. This is the advanced option, and this is for load balancing. So this is also optional. This gives us 3 options: no load balancer, attached to an existing load balancer, and attached to a new load balancer. So as you are already aware, so load balancer is something that it will just distribute the traffic, or it will balance out the traffic across these instances evenly. Okay, so here what it will be done is, when we select no load balancer, there won't be any load balancer which will be this auto scaling group will not be fronted by a load balancer. So that is the significance of the first option. Second, if we click on attach to an existing load balancer, so it will give us the option. Again, there are sub options like you can say choose from load balancer target groups and choose from classic load balancer. So target groups is applicable when it is application load balancer that we have seen. We need to create target groups first, then we can go for the application load balancer. But in case of classic load balancer, the target is not the case, because it directly we can add to the EC2 instances. So if we have any target already available, then we can select in this case, either in both cases. So if I click on this one, it will see if there is any already existing load balancer is there, classic load balancer, and we can select it from here. Okay, so same is true if we need to create a new load balancer. So we can click on this one, and we can create either application load balancer or network load balancer here. Okay, so that you can do here by filling the option. I'm not going to do that. I'll just do this new load balancer because this is just a demo session. Then if we go below, it's a health checks. So health check is something you can see here. So it's for the grace period. So health check grace period, the amount of time until EC2 auto scaling performs first health check on new instances after they are put into the service. So this is by default 300 seconds. It will be around 5 minutes. So what it will do is it will perform this health check of this is new EC2 instance once after this time period lapses. So it's default 300. I can make it as 120 seconds, so it will be 2 minutes. So 2 minutes after this EC2 instance has been launched and newly added, so it will perform this health check after every 2 minutes. Then additional settings, again I'll leave it default, and just click on next thing. The most important thing is here, like configure group size and scaling policies. So scaling policies is we can specify the size of auto scaling group by changing the desired capacity. So desired capacity, there are 3 options: desired capacity, minimum capacity, and maximum capacity. So desired capacity is something that we can expect, like how many it should instances should be there running, or what is the desired. So if I consider desired as 2, so for example, and minimum capacity we can make it as its minimum 1. We can make it as 0 because that is not going to do any meaningful. So I'll just click on 1, and maximum capacity I can make it as a 3. So what this means is there can be maximum 3 EC2 instances based on this traffic, and minimum capacity at least should be 1. So there should be at least 1 EC2 instance, it will be automatically available, and the desired capacity will be 2. So it's you can say like desired is 2, minimum 1, and maximum 3 that we can do. The scaling policy, again this is optional, and here we have the option like target tracking scaling policy. If I click on this one, you can see here scaling policy name. We can give limit by default, and its metric type we have several options. So for example, average CPU utilization, average network in, network out, application load balancer request from target. Okay. So what it means is here if I leave the value as 60, okay, what it is going to do is if say EC2 instance reaches 60% of the CPU, it will launch another CPU and it will follow these parameters as per the group size. So this is this as per the CPU or network, or we can configure as per our requirement here. And instances need this option, like this means seconds warm up before including the metric. So what it means is as soon as the instances are launched, so by default it is 300, so it means after 5 minutes it will be included in the metric. Okay, so we can make it as 60. It means after 60 minutes 60 seconds, once the instances are launched, then we can add this will be added to the metric. Okay, so that is the meaning of this one. Then in instance scaling protection, this is again optional. So it means is if protect from scaling enabled, newly launched instances will be protected from scaling by default. So scaling is nothing but, see, there are two options, scale out and scale in. Scaling out is means increasing. So if we are in scaling out, it will be like instances will be scaled out, means from 1, say for example we have given maximum 3, it will be scaled out as per, say for example, the CPU value if it is follow, and say for example this CPU value is below 60, if it goes below 60, so as per scaling it will be reduced. So 3 instances will be reduced to 1 again following this value, so it will be minimum 1. And if we click on this button, it means the instances will be protected from scaling by default. So instances will be protected, so it won't be affected according to this one. So that is the significance of instance scaling protection. I won't be doing this one. I'll just click on this next button. Notifications, we can configure SNS notifications when Amazon EC2 auto scaling launches or terminate EC2 instances in the auto scaling group. So we can get SNS notifications whenever instances are launched or terminated. If I click on this add a notification, that we can do here. So you can just check this option and click on next. You can add some tags. So this is tag is nothing but if I give some name and as instance, say for example this is the value of that this is key value pair, this is name and the name will be, so instances will be assigned this name, auto scaling instances. Okay, that is the significance of this tag. We can add up to 50, so I have added 1, we can add remaining 14 as well. So we'll just click on next. This is the review page or summary page. You can see what we do so far. We just have chosen this template from our launch configuration. This is the copy of launch configuration. Then network, we selected default VPC and we have selected 3 availability zones. So instances will be launched in each availability zone, and it will have the public IP assigned. Okay. Then load balancing we didn't choose. Health check we have chosen as every 120 seconds. This is the health check grace period. Monitoring we select a default and disable the detail one. Group size it will be designed to minimum 1 and maximum 3 instances. Scaling we have chosen it as per the CPU with 60% of threshold. Whenever the 60% reaches, it will be instances will be adjusted accordingly. So that is this significance of this one. Yeah, that we can do. And at any point of time, if we want to edit, say in this option, we can edit and change this parameter up to this page on the review page. Say for example, this configure group size and scaling policies. If I click edit button, so here again we can change this parameter here. Say if I want to change this maximum capacity from 3 to 4, I can change here. If I don't want target scaling policy, I can select none here. Okay, and yeah, so accordingly we can do this. And if I save, this will be the changes will be saved. Okay, so we are again in this review page and we have changed some of these parameters here. So we change maximum capacity from 3 to 4. Okay, and we have selected no scaling policy here. Okay, then if I click on create auto scaling view, you can see the auto scaling groups has been created here. Okay, and the status is updating capacity. If you click on this and click on activity, so shortly, yeah, you can see here it will start the getting activity here, and here one of the status is failed. It says launching new EC2 instances. Your requested EC2 instance TT.micro is not supported in the requested availability zone, that is AP site 1C. Yeah, so it depends, like for this demo part I have selected Asia Pacific, that is Mumbai region, and this particular availability zone. There are 3 available zones, 1A, 1B and 1C, and it says for 1C T2.micro is not supported. It means it would launch the EC2 instance into other 2 availability zones that we are going to check. Okay, if you refresh this one, you can see here launching an EC2 instance. Okay, so it is launching the EC2 instance, and here you can see a message here. The instance was starting in response to a difference between desired and actual capacity, increasing the capacity from 0 to 2. Yeah, so desired capacity we have kept as 2, and since in the beginning we don't have any EC2 instance, it will just do the comparison and launch the EC2 instance for us. And same is true for this one. You can see increasing the capacity from 1 to 2. So if you go to EC2 section, yeah, you can see there are instances are running right now. You can see here. Okay, so here you can see the name that we have given it, auto scaling instances. You can change the name, but by default it will be launched using this name, and it has public MAC address and all those things. And you can see this has launched in 2 availability zones each, Asia Pacific 1A and Asia Pacific 1B. Okay, so that is this the significance of this, because it will follow the high availability funda, and based on that it will be launching different availability zones here. So that is the significance. So now let's do one thing. Let's select both these instances and instance state. I'll try to terminate these instances and see what happens. I'll just select on terminate. And if we go to auto scaling and see the activity here, So ideally what it has to do is, since our desired capacity is 2 and minimum is 1, and there is both the instances are terminated, so right now the capacity is 0, so it will just relaunch the new instances for us, and we can see it here shortly. Okay, so if we scroll down here and keep refreshing, so soon we can see here where the instances are getting launched. Yeah, you can see here status, this is in progress, and here you can see since we terminated this instance was taken out of service in response to EC2 health check indicating it has been terminated or stopped. So as we have given the value of 120 seconds, so that it will just check every 2 minutes and see if the instance is healthy or it is stopped or terminated, and it will take it out. Okay, and if I click on this again, you can see another instance is getting initialized. Okay, so as we mentioned, the minimum value of 1, and as per the auto scaling, it has automatically launched a new instance for us. So we can see here, you can see a message here, launching a new EC2 instance. This is the instance. An instance was launched in response to an unhealthy instance needing to be replaced. So it has replaced it automatically for us, and this instance is available. You can see here. So this auto scaling is mainly used for high availability, to achieve the high availability purpose. If say our application needs consistency and it will be always available, so in that case we can use the auto scaling group, so that it will be automatically created and instances will be wound up and added to this metric as per the value that we have defined here. Okay, so I think we got the point. It has launched this EC2 instance for us. Okay, suppose if we have another instance as well, because our desired value is 2, and you might have observed, see, it will launch into this availability zone, so it is in 1A and 1B. So instead of launching both instances in one availability zone, it will launch in two different availability zones, so that if anyone gets terminated down, and we have application will be available by another availability zone. Okay, and you can see we have another instance as well turning. So because the desired value is 2, it will ensure there are always 2 EC2 instances available. So if I select this again and click on terminate, like EC2 instance in 1A, if I terminate, let's see what happens. In the activity history you can see the updates here soon. So it will be based on this value that we have specified, the health check value. So EC2 instance in 1A has been terminated. So we can expect soon an EC2 instance which is replacing the one that is terminated for 1A availability zone. Okay. Yeah, you can see here. So another EC2 instance is in the pending state, that is getting launched, and that is in the 1A availability zone. Okay, so it will just ensure our application is always running. Okay, and we can see, we can just copy this public IP address to see if the bootstrap script is exactly working or not. You can see here, this is EC2 instance from Auto Scaling Group. So it means our bootstrap script is working exactly as it was expected as per this the script. We were expecting this message to be popped up when we expect try to access it over this HTTP. So that is happening, you can see here. Okay. And this messages here, our activity history, you can see. Another EC2 instance that has been launched in response to unhealthy instance needing to be replaced. So that it has done, and hence we have, it will ensure always two EC2 instances as per the desired capacity are available to serve the application. Okay. And say if I go and click on this auto scaling group, so what do you think, what will happen if this auto scaling group itself has been terminated? Will it be those EC2 instance which has already launched will be kept running, or those will get stopped or get terminated, or the new upcoming EC2 instances will be affected? What do you think that if I say I delete this EC2 instance auto scaling group, if I just delete this auto scaling group itself, what could happen? Any idea on this one? Let's see. Say I have selected this auto scaling group, and if I click on delete, it will ask a confirmation. I can type delete button here, and as soon as I delete, I will go to activity section. You can see it is status is in progress, and it has started terminating the EC2 instances. Okay, because as per the cause, a user request force deleted auto scaling group, changing the desired capacity from 2 to 0. So since we terminated auto scaling group itself, so there won't be any desired value that will exist, and that will be changed from 2 to 0, since there is no auto scaling group that will be existing, and hence it has detected this, and it will start deleting the EC2 instances. If we go to EC2 instance here and click on instances, so you can see our instances are terminated right now. So since now this EC2 this auto scaling group has been terminated, so we can see there is no activity history, because there is nothing that remains now, and we have this auto scaling group itself has been deleted. So you can see we have 0 auto scaling group since we just now deleted. So friends, I hope you get the point, and this is very simple, very straightforward. So mainly this is being used for this high availability purpose, and we can use either launch configurations or launch template. So launch configuration is nothing but it contains, it defines the rules, what availability, what will be AMI IDs it should contain, what should be the instance type. Then any key pair we can also specify if we want particular key pair to be launched with that auto scaling group, that we can specify here. Bootstrap script or user data script, that we can also specify using this launch configuration or launch template. So just defining this launch configuration or launch template, it's not going to do anything, it's not going to launch any instances for us. That is just, we will be defining this set of rules, and when we will actually go for auto scaling group, and use that launch configuration or template, and we'll specify minimum, desired and maximum value with this health check and other parameters. On basis of that, we can launch this EC2 instances, and it will launch EC2 instances for us, and it will ensure EC2 instances are always available for us with respect to this desired parameters which are specified. Okay. So friends, if you have any questions or any queries, just feel free to write them in the comment section, and thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Cloud with Mohsin. Please like, comment, share and subscribe, and happy learning. Take care. Bye bye.